So this is my cucumber seedling. Beautiful, the roots.
When the plant is too young and it sets fruits, also when you're gardening in drought, how it has attached itself to the fence. In this episode, Gardening in Drought, we're going to grow cucumbers in containers. So let's get in so that I can share the tips and tricks of growing cucumbers in containers during drought. So this is the 4th week for these seedlings. And as you can see, they are not competing for nutrients. They are growing well. And look at the size of my container. If you use a smaller pot for starting your seeds, you have to transplant the seedlings. Once they are more than 7 centimeters tall, you transfer them to a bigger container. But my seedlings are looking good because I planted them in a big container. This is a deep container, holds more soil, so I can plant more seedlings and leave them in for longer. I left my seedlings in this container for a longer period because I'm growing the seedlings during drought. We are going through water stress at this moment. So the more the seedlings are established and strong root system, they'll be able to survive the high temperatures in this region. I recycle water from the kitchen, the water that I use to wash vegetables. That's what I come and use in the garden. The temperatures right now are above 21 degrees Celsius. So before transplanting, I want to water the pots, then use this to get the seedlings carefully without disturbing the roots.
See how I got the seedling so easily? Look at this. So this, without disturbing the seedling, you come and make a hole. Oops, it's windy. So this, you push it in, and it has now found a new home.
Let me get my hat. So the next thing to consider is where you're going to place the containers. Make sure you choose a spot that the cucumbers can get at least 6 to 8 hours of sunlight. I have more containers that I'm going to grow and show you. To read more articles about gardening in drought, go to juliesnaturejunction.com. I also post updates on Instagram and Facebook. Good morning. Today is day 2 after transplanting. So I've transplanted all the cucumber seedlings to their containers, and as you can see, they are looking strong, but one of them has not been able to stand up tall. If you notice, all these other seedlings that are strong are bigger than this one. That's the point I was explaining about using a big container and letting your seedlings grow taller and stronger before you can transplant them if you are growing your crops in drought. Yesterday our temperatures soared up to about 30 degrees Celsius, so it was very hot and it's also windy here. So this small seedling was weak And now it looks flaxseed. I don't think it will make it, so I'll have to plant another one and transplant it here. But the rest of the seedlings look nice. The next step is I want to transfer them to their position where they'll get at least 6 hours of sunlight. And also I want to support them. So wherever you place the containers, you need to support the cucumbers so that they can grow. You can have nice, beautiful, long cucumbers.
Close-up look. So this is the small one.
To position all my cucumber containers. Here I have some supports. This fence that is separating the different blocks in my garden. I have different types of containers on this other block. So as the cucumbers grow, it's good to support them so that you can get long, beautiful cucumbers. Another point, if you are arranging your containers, you can either space them or put them close together. If you put them close together, there's really no competition between the cucumber plants because each cucumber plant is in its own container. So it has its own supply of water, its own supply of nutrients, its own space to grow and produce big fruits. But when you space the cucumber containers, as they grow wide, it's good to give airflow to the leaves, and giving airflow to the leaves and ensuring that all the leaves are exposed well to the sunlight, it means I am reducing the pest buildup on the leaves and the cucumber fruits. So you can either put them together if you have many containers, or you can space them. And if every cucumber plant is growing so many leaves, you can prune down some leaves and leave some good stems that are giving good fruits.
3 weeks after transplanting your cucumbers to containers, this is what you get. And right now, the cucumbers need more of pea because they are going into flowering. However, the first flowers that your cucumbers produce, when they are still so small, you should remove them to give the plant an opportunity to grow more before it can start setting fruits. Banana-rich organic fertilizer. I soaked banana peels in water. They have been in water for more than 8 months. When I posted the video on the upgrade I was doing around my garden, at that time we did not have drought, but right now I'm gardening in drought. So this banana-rich organic fertilizer is what I add to my containers to supply the most important nutrients during flowering and fruiting. The next important step is that you need to move the containers to a place where they will get support, because right now they are growing their tendrils that it uses to grow up. So the tendrils are important to help the cucumber plants grow upwards. Look at how it has attached itself to the fence. So make sure you supply a good source of P and K. For phosphorus, I'm using Dovialis Cafra fruits, and for P, I'm using banana peels. Remove the first flowers when the cucumber plant is still young. Give a chance for the cucumber plant to grow more, develop a stronger rooting system.
When the plant is too young and it sets fruits, the fruits will be too heavy for the plant to support it and it will weigh down the plant. Also, when you're gardening in drought, you need a plant that is stronger and can take in all the water it gets during that period in order to survive the high heat and water stress.